And I'm gonna keep it 100. This is why, you know, when it comes to these divestitures, this shit I'm critical. I'm real critical of it. And the reason why I'm critical of them, and I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I love my grandmother. I love the shit out of her. You dig? Love my grandmother dearly, man. You know, God, Creator, shine down on her. But I'm gonna say this much, and I hate to say this. Like, my mom, she's a dark-skinned woman. Both of my uncles are dark-skinned. Okay? The only one that came out lighter, the youngest one, was my aunt. And my aunt, she very fair-skinned. Now my granddad, he was a little bit lighter than me, but he was black. You know, you can tell he black. But it was this man my grandmother used to you know, I guess when she was working at a hospital, because my grandmother was a nurse or a CNA back then. She was a CNA, and then this white man who was a fireman, he came in, and they now keep in mind, he was married. My grandmother was married to my granddad. So they had what you call a somewhat platonic relationship. Well, I always used to hear my uncles, both of my uncles always say, Marianne, she ain't one of us. She ain't one of us. And they used to get into arguments about that. And my granddad, he knew off the rip that my light-skinned auntie wasn't his child. But he didn't say nothing back then. You know, black men didn't say nothing. They dealt with it in their own way. You know, back then, them old black men used to deal with that shit. I don't know how they did, but they dealt with it. So the man came into our life again, and he was an old, decrepit old ass man. So what happened is, my mom took him in because he was getting, you know, he was old. He didn't have nobody, old white man, no family or nothing. His name was Johnny Po'boy. My uncles them used to call him John Po'boy, because the man didn't have nothing. Only thing he was getting was his veterans checks, and he worked for the fire department, and he was getting Social Security and stuff like that. So shit, my mom said she'll take care of him, you know, because, you know, she was extra money. So she took the old white man in. So my uncles and them, they was up there. We used to have a motherfucking family, you know, at a little family gathering, right? So she said, hey, my uncles them said, hey, your daddy over you know, my mom Shirley, over Shirley house. And Marianne said, my aunt Mary said, don't play with me. He said, yeah, your daddy over there, that's your daddy. So my other uncle started laughing. So I said, what you mean that's her daddy? She said, next time you look at that man, look at Marianne head, and look at that man head. That ain't Marianne, my aunt is not an Allen. She's a poor boy. So I looked at that man, this old white man, I looked at his old pictures, and then I looked at my aunt. And I'll be goddamn, she looked just like that man. She head like him and every goddamn thing. And then, for that long, my grandmother, when my uncles them was dragging my aunt for that, my grandmother started crying. And went off on my uncles and said, you all stop. You all stop. She went off on me. So I asked Grandma, is that true? That is Marianne his you know, his child? And she didn't say nothing. So when she didn't say nothing, I like, yep. So back in the day, a lot of them old black women in the day used to lay up with white men. So if you think black women ain't doing, if black women did that shit in the past, if they did that shit in the past, what make you think black women ain't doing that shit today? What make you think they're not doing that shit today? If all the pro-black motherfuckers like Umar Johnson, who want to defend a lot of the shit that these KESHIAs do, because he's the main advocate for black women. Because I understand why black women, hey, they giving them money. Even the divestors and swirlers giving Umar Johnson money. They are the main supporters of Umar Johnson are women. For all the shit that Umar do, but Umar went up to this young black man, this young kid, with a white girl, both of them homeless on the street. First thing he started doing is calling this young black man a disgrace, this young boy a disgrace. Now, me personally, if that was me and I was in a relationship with a white woman, you come up to me, I'm gonna tell you, I would have punched motherfucker Umar Johnson in his motherfucking face. But that's just me. So, you know, I mean, for you to sit up there and fuck with that man and then you give black women a slide, you let them slide with all the shit they do. And then you want to talk this pro-black shit. That's why niggas ain't following this pro-black shit now. Black women already ruined it. Black women already ruined being pro-black. David Curl was right about that. Black women have ruined being pro-black. Cause every time you turn around, you see these nigga bitches up here being pro-black with a white man. Like this one chick that, shout out to Only Logical Channel, that's up here sound like a slash William Shakespeare, Maya Angelou, on a motherfucker, on some pro-black shit up here with a white man with two biracial children and a black son. Man, I'm gonna tell you how that black son gonna come out. Either that boy gonna come out either gay, or I'm gonna tell you what he gonna do. He gonna bring home number Becky and Susan home. And I hope he I hope he just bring the whitest of white women to her ass. I hope he date none. I hope her son bring home oodles and oodles of badass white bitches. Bitches that got bodies that look like motherfucker, like got bodies that look like Coco and Kim Kardashian. I hope he bring the whitest Becky's home like a motherfucker. And I know that white man that she with gonna get jealous. Cause white men ain't, they believe me, they ain't no more. That white man ain't no more. That white man is a white man, and he know he privileged. He know that with her, he got privilege because he know with Becky, he ain't gonna get none of that with Becky and Susan. He ain't gonna be put on no pedestal by Becky and Susan, especially if he don't got no money. If Brad ain't coming with no money, you a badass white bitch. They ain't checking for you like that, Brad. They ain't looking for you. You might could get what big back Becky that work at one of these truck stops or work at the shop. You can get one of them. That's what you eligible for. But white man found the cheat code. Man, I hate when this truck do this shit. White man found the cheat code. They could get an attractive black woman without no problem. They could get an attractive white woman. I mean black woman without no problem. And don't have to pay anything. Don't have to bring nothing to the table. All you have to do is be a white man. That's why I put that video up on TikTok and YouTube. All you have to do is be a white man. You can get any kind of attractive black woman you want without no problems. And KESHIA will get with you and even provide for you, even take care of you. And it ain't considered struggle love when you got a white man. It's not considered struggle love, so you don't have to worry about that shit. KESHIA said, I'm in a struggle relationship with a white man. It's not struggle when they with a white man. it's a struggle when they with you, black man. It's a struggle with you when you ask them to go 50-50, half and half. They'll look at you like you crazy, but Brad say, well, I'm not paying everything, Keisha. And these Keishas will say, okay, you don't have to, I got you, white zaddy. Yeah, they provide for Brad. Real spill, don't even have to make this shit up.